We all know that a revolution took place on January 25. We all watched, the whole world watched. But what did Egyptians watch? And what did everyone else watch? Everyone was confused, overwhelmed with traditional media not knowing what to believe anymore. When the internet was back, a lot of Egyptians resorted to online media and blogs for news.
I didn't depend on bloggers. I depended on online media because I think that they are more reliable and trustworthy.
I rely more on news media because it's more efficient.
I rely on online media because it's more credible. Reading news online is more credible than bloggers. Bloggers are not credible sources as they have their opinions and they broadcast it. I don't rely on all that.
During and after the revolution, I mainly relied on blogs because they usually say what the government doesn't say in the media because media usually say what the government wants to say.
I get the news from both bloggers and the media because now bloggers are becoming more reliable source. They are not restricted as they used to.
We're more reliable than the media because the media was either dramatizing things or just saying that nothing was happening at all.
It was very reliable and because the people updating the news was very personal and it was updated like not daily like the TV or something of the sort. It was updated like every second. Everybody reported from wherever they were, so it was more reliable and because there were also credible sources like videos.
Arabawi, a famous Egyptian blog created by Hussam al-Hamalawi in 2006, was heavily read during the time of the revolution.
Zero monitors my tweets on my blog. The BBC monitors my tweets on my blog. CNN and all the other mainstream media outlets, in addition of course to the local newspapers. So this means if I announce for a demo on Twitter, I mean the call is going to spread not necessarily because everybody is getting that online, but it's because the newspapers are going to call it. It's because the TV, stations are going to call it. Of course not the government. My main aim at the time was to actually try to influence the mainstream media into giving more coverage to activism news. I knew from the beginning and based on my contacts that those who will be reading my blog in general will be human rights activists, will be leftist activists and labor campaigners in Egypt, as well as journalists both from Egypt and from outside. And I acted as their source of information on so many issues over the past few years. But you are right also, we cannot depend on them solely in order to spread the word. At the end of the day, they are tied up with an editorial policy. They have their own red ceilings, which definitely this red ceiling is getting higher after the revolution, but there is still a red ceiling. We don't have complete freedom of information in Egypt and expression. The performance varied, whether we're talking here about the state-run media or are we talking about the privately owned media.
Salma Hagab, another Egyptian blogger who contributed to the online community through her blog Salma Tessa.
But during the revolution I was very concerned with what's happening in Egypt. I was very emotionally involved and I was all the time trying to convince my parents to let me go. So I was always following the news on Twitter, I was always tweeting. I was following the news day by day, minute by minute. I was following all the tweets of people there. I was tweeting. Sometimes people will be DMing me, my friends, who can't find internet access in the places they are, and they tell me go on Twitter and say such and such.